Yeah, you represented me very well. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. We are now recording. We are good to go. Good morning, our father, and one that has laid the path very clearly for us in the area of playwriting and play creation in particular. Professor Femi Osofisan, one that is highly decorated, but above all, had the opportunity of putting his footprints here at the National Theatre between 2000 and 2004 as the general manager and chief executive. Today, the National Theatre is being run by a management team that is made up of your sons. And one of your eldest sons, Professor Sonny Ododo, is the general manager. We just want to open by saying, what are your initial thoughts about what is happening around the National Theatre today, sir?
Well, I haven't been there for quite a while. So all information I have is what I've got in the papers. Although I ask Sonny, Professor Odudu, now and then what is going on. I had my doubts about, the banks taking over this place. And so I wasn't quite sure, whether they will be interested in the arts at all. I've been hearing of calls for rentage events, centers, and so on, to make revenue. And I was worried about the artistic
component
input to this, but Sonny has assured me that they are on the right path, so I'll be waiting to see what happens.
Thank you very much, sir. One of the new products that the National Theatre has is what they call National Theatre Play Reading Series. So far, they've featured 3 plays, and they come across from playwrights across the country. And this has motivated the International Theatre Institute to support the National Theatre in this their festival with this roundtable on play creation. Essentially, we want to draw from you as a mentor for upcoming Nigerian playwrights, in the sense that mentorship has been a challenge generally in Nigeria. And with this good initiative from the National Theatre, we think that this first roundtable on play creation, which will actually feature the 3 winners of the 3 reading sessions National Theatre has hosted across the country as panelists, we will benefit from you in terms of things that upcoming playwrights need to bear in mind. Essentially, we'll be asking you 3 questions. I think the first one is, when you started off, what was the environment like? And then what were your motivation to use playwriting as a medium for communication, sir?
Well, I must say that the atmosphere is different now. But when we started, we had all kinds of, incentives to work, all kinds of challenges. The first problem we had was with language, communicating with the people and directly to the people through the medium of English. How that is a problem. Nowadays, it's not so much of a problem because many people now speak English, and there are so many universities and so on. But in those days, think of it, when we started, there was one university, and then later on increased to 6 or 7. So not many people spoke English. So this was the challenge to now develop theater as a means of reaching the people directly. The beauty of theater is that, it's not just the verbal dialogue that you use to communicate. There are gestures, there's music and movements and so on. So the theater became a kind of challenge to us to develop, to develop into a means of communicating directly with the people, in spite of the English that we were using. This problem has remained till today, since you have so many languages, so many people, so many ethnic groups. How now do you communicate with all these people? So English was the one language that was handed over by the colonialists, and we just pragmatically adopted it. Now, but English, there's English, there's English. There are so many types of English, and different levels of grammatical. So that was there. I think nowadays the situation is different. You can use English comfortably, and then pidgin and so on. Forms are. So in terms of that, I think that's less of a problem now. The problem, though, is that we now have new challenges too, because it seems as if the audience has migrated to film, to
social media.
film, yes, Nollywood, and then Netflix and so on. These are the new attractions. And in any case, getting even theater venues are not that many. Well-equipped theater venues, are not many. The audience itself is not really, particularly in Lagos, it's so difficult to participate in theatrical productions because of, look at the traffic before you get home, or you start going to people just sit around the screen and watch what they want to watch. So I think this poses a new challenge to theater makers, how do you want to now resolve this? How do you want to get around this problem, bring in the audience, and then, even in terms of paying, how are you going to make it profitable? Because people have other challenges now. There's so much poverty. So these are problems for our new playwrights.
Thank you so much, sir. So one very strong point you made is that because of the language question and some other limitations at that time, you saw theater as a universal language that you can actually use to connect with the people. So maybe in very few words, we want to find out from you, what is your opinion of the current crop of Nigerian playwrights and the entire industry of play creation?
It will be difficult, to take a general view of it now. I myself, I'm not that current with what is going on in the theater. Since I retired, I was away for so many years from the country. But I can, what the little I see, I can see, a great enthusiasm. The younger ones who are at least in theater, seem to be very much interested in doing the work they're doing. And in any case, also they are bringing in new techniques, film, cinema techniques and so on into their own work. The way they advertise now, in fact, is very interesting. They use the old format that we used to associate with the cinema. So I think those who are interested in it are quite, what I'm not sure about is the kind of themes, the subject matters. Because of the difficulty now, you have to raise funds, you have to do that. I think they're getting more and more pushed towards the same things that attract people to film. So that when I watched my play done by some group the other day, and it was so much dancing and so on. They put so much dancing into it. I mean, literally, so but this was, they told me this is the way they could attract the audience. The audience want to see such things. And I said, well, okay, that's a new way of doing it. Let's see how far it goes. So, well, I think those, thank God for the universities and the theater departments that have flourished in many of them. This is where theater is being sustained now, because it's part of the curriculum. Otherwise, I'm afraid that well, for our side, I don't know how they will cope. But it's interesting to watch them, persist, go on as in spite of all these challenges.
Yes. Well, there are actually some interesting collaborations going on here since the current crop of the management of National Theatre came in. And one of which is this Festival of Unity that was introduced in 2020. The third edition is actually opening with this program today. And I believe that with the support we are getting from elders with you, gradually we'll begin to create more spaces for upcoming playwrights to have their performances and their plays before audiences.
Yeah, one must acknowledge here, though, the development of the new technological developments. Zoom. Because of COVID almost killed everybody. I mean, killed all particularly the entertainment industry was most hit. But the world rose to that challenge, and we became Zoom consuming people.
Yes.
I think one has to acknowledge that when the challenges come, new inventions come up.
Yes.
So like this festival, many people will be able to participate through Zoom, which would have been possible, before COVID. So things are happening.
We will take your advice. The GM is here. He will also see how the remaining activities of the festival will be relayed via Zoom. But just before we let you go, we know that you have an engagement and you'll be on transit shortly. This is essentially for young playwrights to draw from you as a mentor. The National Theatre has identified you as the first mentor in this series. So we want to ask you, sir, what would you say as a mentor to upcoming playwrights, maybe in 4, 5, 6 bullets? What do you think they need to do to be great and to indeed follow, if not surpass, your footsteps, which is your desire for us?
Yeah, well, it's difficult to prescribe for artists, and to say this is what you must do. In fact, what we discover in this profession is that it is those who do what they go against what everybody recommends who become important, who last. So I don't know, to say do this. I mean, we were concerned about the situation of the country, and we decided to write plays that will bring up, address problems, immediate problems of the country. It seems as if they are going away from that trend now, from politically committed theater to what I would call social entertainment. Well, if that's what will allow them to survive, who can fault that? If that's the way the theater itself will now define its future. So I think every generation will find out what it needs to do and try to accomplish it. We cannot prescribe, I'm afraid, for any generation. What they should do is just master their art, because language is very important in communicating. You need to master that art first, and then you have to think of relevance to the people, relevance to to society, and then all the other arts, we want to control how to use them. It's not sufficient to say I want music and then bang in music somewhere. You have to know where it's appropriate, where it will help the message you are trying to give. So I wish them luck. The National Theatre is on its right track. I must say that, this play thing before, had been going on before, though maybe it was suspended, bringing in plays every month. I think Yerima tried to do that. But with the new impetus, if the National Theatre will encourage them, it will be a very, very good initiative.
Thank you very much, sir. You are the first Black ever to win the Thalia Prize. And indeed, you still remain one out of the 7 that have won it globally since it was established. And so we always draw inspiration from you. And we also believe that God will extend your life. So we'll continue to do that. As the festival opens today, I would love you to send a message to Nigerians and lovers of theater, what you want them to know at this point in time, and particularly a goodwill message to the patrons, management, and audiences of the National Theatre, sir.
Yeah, I'm delighted that the National Theatre is doing this. I hope they'll be able to continue in spite of the challenges, I think there are a lot of challenges there, and Sonny is trying his best, trying to, against the people who think only of money, thinking of art, which is really an important aspect of our work. Some people are then, the bogey of tourism, art. It's not just for tourism. I mean, of course, it's good to attract tourists, but that's not the main purpose of art. That's not, particularly at National Theatre, which was one of the arguments I kept making when I was there. We were supposed to showcase the best of the nation's art, the best of the nation's artists, and the most exciting experiments to push the thing forward. And this is what I keep saying. It's not just, some of it will sell, of course, but some of it will not sell. And the essential thing is that we keep our perspective on the artistic aesthetic merits of our work. So I hope the thing will be able to continue. I hope so.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you for your time. GM, you want to say a final word to our father?
Yes, thank you, President. Yes. Thank you, President. Yeah, the main objective of bringing Professor Osofisan on this journey is not just because he's a former general manager of National Theatre. He's a living icon and legend on our theatre history, practice, and playwriting. It's a mobile embodiment of our institutional memory, and is a model for established and upcoming playwrights. So we are very happy that you find time, sir, to be with us this morning.
Thank you.
We'll keep coming. We'll be coming, sir. And, and I must acknowledge here publicly that beyond this kind of public interaction, privately, you call me to find out about what's going on, give me advice here and there, and they have been working. So governance is such a continuum. The legacies you left behind is also where we have tried to draw from and keep the flag flying. We're very grateful, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you a safe journey as you embark on your trip this morning, sir. Thank you, sir.